Coming at you live from here and a different over there. This is the Blue Heaven Podcast. I didn't set up my soundboard all that great, so it's lower. I have to look at it. What's going on, Dodgers Nation? My name is Clint. You can find me as Real FRG on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, you can. And my name is Brooke. You can find me at Brookie on Twitter.
and we lost him. We're just waiting for him to come back. Hold on. Are you back?
This is a new year.
you dipped out for part of it, so he's in a different area. Trevor Bauer made it so he couldn't celebrate his anniversary with a nice staycation away. So we're sorry about that, but we appreciate the hardworking journalist that you are, Mr. Brook Me 3.
I can never get a break. Never get a break.
So why don't you tell people what the hell's going on today?
Did something happen?
That's what they keep saying, according to sources.
I mean, I don't even know what the best way to say it. The day started out with Bauer's team. Is that what we're calling them? Are they calling them the team? Accidentally releasing "Let's Go Mets" gear.
Yeah.
What a weird start to the day.
Yeah, that was definitely odd.
So that was early morning, and then a lot of people were like, "Oh, what if he's just messing with people? Like, what if he's just messing around?" And I was like, "Nah, I mean, that seems like a mistake. That just seems like whoops, didn't mean to do that, but yeah, I'm signing with the Mets." And then how long later are we saying that announcement came? Not that long later.
No, I mean, the whole thing just kept happening where, I mean, he had Let's Go Mets products up, and then there was a Dodger hat he was raffling off on Gleam, and then it was I don't know, just it kept being a lot of those little troll things. He kept dropping different things. They were getting emails, they were getting people were getting texts saying, "Oh, check out my YouTube channel where I announced my big thing. I can't wait to go to New York," and stuff like that. So it was pretty funny to watch that kind of unfold. Before we get into all of that, we do want your guys' input. This is going to rely heavily on the audience here. We want to get you guys involved, so share this, get more fans, get more friends involved, and we want everybody's opinion. As long as you're not being rude, mean, or a dick, that's Brooke's job today. I decided that's going to be Brooke's job today. But we are a podcast, Blue Heaven Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube or on what is it, the iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. We're live sometimes twice a week when things happen. Doug is working constantly on the YouTube channel all the other times. We're going to probably get Doug involved, get him on the show. I want to get his reaction live with us without him having to work. So maybe we'll see about getting him on the show next week.
There you go. Everyone needs a little bit of Doug in their lives, especially me.
All right, man. The numbers, what is it, 3-year, $102 million deal? That was right around the area that you predicted. That's what you thought his contract would look like. So once again, you are sources.
I am sources. I was like 100 to 105, somewhere in that range, because it made sense for me that they would give him an opt-out. Number one, an opt-out for each season so that he could leave, and it also would protect him just in case either an injury derailed his season or he just had a really, really crappy season with the Dodgers or whatever team he signs with, obviously. Basically, to me, it reads as a 2-year contract. It doesn't read as a 3-year, $102 million contract. It reads as I'm going to take my 2 years and $85 million, and then I'm going to get a new deal. I just don't see it working out in any other way. He would have to have 2 really awful seasons to not opt out after the second year. Am I wrong in that?
Yeah, it's it would be the biggest surprise to see him not take that second year. It's so damn much money, man. And I like money.
I've been known to like a little bit of money, but I mean, you look at it, and even before this, we were talking about a small Justin Turner type of contract and what that would do to the CBT, what that would do to the luxury tax implications, what that would do for the rest of the year, how they were going to approach things, whether or not they were willing to break the luxury tax threshold. And then they don't just break it, they blow through it and then blow even further past that. So now, you're looking at $240 million in luxury tax implications for this year, and that's it's a little over.
Yeah, the money definitely looks wild. That was one of the things we've talked about a lot throughout the offseason. It's if they do decide to go over, they are going to blow over that CBT. They're going to blow over that luxury tax, because why not? And we're seeing all the other teams, especially in the National League, they're all obviously trying to get better. I can't say they are not all trying to get better, but the teams that were there, especially in the postseason, are trying to get better. The Padres made a bunch of moves, and of course now we're going to have to hear, this was in response to the Padres, and we know the way Andrew Friedman works. They've probably been talking about this all winter long, just keeping in touch with Luba and keeping in touch with Bauer and just kind of seeing where they're at, who they're talking to. Can we get you on shorter? We don't know if they wanted to try to get a 5, 6, 7, 8 year deal. I doubt it. That doesn't seem like Trevor's style. But again, what do we know? Jerry Harrison Jr. earlier on MLB Network had mentioned that Bauer, him and Bauer talked for a little while earlier, like a month or so ago, and he was just asking, what's the deal with LA? Well, I like it there. What are your thoughts? And Jay Harris said he got that feeling that this guy really did want to come to LA, and eventually he waited it out. It was going to be the Mets, but you look, and there's a couple of people on the Mets that, sure, he's played with Cookie Carrasco, he's played with Frankie Lindor, but you come to L.A., you want to win. Right. His facilities in Arizona, so it's not that far away to stay involved with all of the people, all of his momentum stuff, all of that. Plus, he's got buddies down in San Diego. He loves he loves Clevenger. They can BS around. So, I had predicted internally, and I didn't outwardly predict it, but everything about the move made sense. He's coming back home to LA, and yeah, man, it definitely was a shock. Bob nailed it. Love Bob Nightengale.
Shout out, good friend of the show, Bob Nightengale. I believe last night tweeted that he had a deal with the Mets. Not Bob. Bob didn't have a deal with them. Maybe that's what Bob was saying. Deal with the Mets. I don't know, but Bauer. He had tweeted that Bauer had signed with the Mets, had a deal in place, and immediately Agent Rachel like, nah, it's down to 2 teams, Bob. I mean, it didn't say anything directly to him, but I mean, poor Bob. It just seems like he's. Yeah. I don't know. It's like he's doing it on purpose now, where he's at the point where he's like, you know what, I'm going to take a whiff, and if I, take a swing, and if I whiff on it, I whiff on it. It's no big deal. People know, and then we just kind of forget about it, and Mets fans haven't forgotten about it.
He had a 50%. He had a 50% chance of being right, man. So you take those odds.
I mean, 50% of the time he's right all the time. So I mean, if you're Bob, you gotta take a hack on that one. And he daddy hacked on that one. Did he ever?
We got Dronez on YouTube saying Bauer's off to Hollyboob. #Hollyboob. Topical. DJ Jesse says Friedman not done yet. We got to get more into that because there is another huge name still out there. Of course, the name of Justin Turner. Dig into that a little bit more in a little bit. We got Mookie Betts in the stream saying if the Dodgers do somehow trade for Jose Ramirez, that'd be insane. Yeah, that would definitely be the step up over Justin Turner for sure. But, it is what it is in that regard. We got an angry doggo here. My dog does not want Jose Ramirez on the Dodgers. I'm sorry, Jose. It's just plainly not going to work out.
I guess it's not going to work out for us then, is
Our boy El Carriz is saying Bauer and Clevenger drunken stories in Mexico incoming.
I watched that YouTube channel, honestly.
Roach says, if I can root for Shane Victorino, Brian Wilson, and Josh Reddick, then I could root for Trevor Bauer. And that's another thing. There's the drama, there's the narrative, there's everything that comes along with Trevor Bauer, and we're seeing the internet tear itself apart today. I don't even know where to kind of start on something like that.
I'll start on it because if you guys were with us on Monday, you'll remember that I said, look, if he ends up with the team, I'm not going to suddenly change my tune on him. I'm not going to say like, hey, I love you and please come into my show and please be a part of our podcast and please let me do whatever I can for you. I'm not going to be that guy. I don't like Trevor Bauer. I don't think he's a great person. I don't know him personally, so it's not really for me to judge. But in my experiences from what I've seen, haven't loved what I've seen from him as a person, from his character. But you know, there's still time to prove me wrong. There's still time to say, like, look, this is a great dude. Look, you talk to his players, teammates, everything. There's still time for that, obviously. And obviously, he's on my favorite team, and I'm going to root for that team. Just because Trevor Bauer is on my team doesn't mean I'm going to abandon the Dodgers and suddenly be like, you know what, I'm a Giants fan. Let's do this thing. Last year and in years past, there have been a lot of players on the Dodgers I simply do not like and do not enjoy interactions with. Didn't change anything about it. If I can live through Yasmani Grandal as a person, I think I'll be okay for this year, but we'll see.
I mean, hell,
I understand if you're not happy about it. I understand if you're a fan who's not happy about it. I don't understand the fans that aren't happy about it and seem like they're abandoning the team, which hasn't really been the case, but also has kind of been the case so far.
Yeah.
But it's early. People are going to react emotionally, and I totally get that, and that's fine. You're entitled to your emotions, and I will not argue with your emotions whatsoever because I'm not going to tell you how to fan. I'm not going to tell you how to be a person. I'm my own person. I got my own problems.
That's what I was going to say. We ended last week's show with you saying, I'm not going to tell people how to fan, which is a great way to say it, a great way to put it. It's not our pay, it's not our place, it's not our position, it's not our right to tell people what's right and wrong to do as a fan. But one thing that I would push more towards saying is wrong is abandoning your team. I think you've been pretty vocal about it, off and on, in saying there's, well, you even said it right here. There's a lot of people on the team that you already don't like, and those are going to be, for a myriad of varying reasons. It's not going to be any one particular thing. People might point at Trevor Bauer for his political stances. We're not always going to align on politics. That's fine. That's part of the unity people keep talking about here in politics and everything. But as long as people can get along and work towards a goal, and you see that a lot in baseball. So as we often now hear the repeat narrative of Trevor Bauer's a good teammate. He's a good teammate. Sure, he's probably a good teammate. I think I've mentioned it a number of times here. I think there's a lot of benefit to bringing him on board the team as a player. I would love to see him work his magic, continuing Clayton Kershaw's introduction into the driveline style. Walker Buehler, getting those three minds talking, pitching together, it would probably be fun. But at some point, the kid's going to have his cell phone and is going to go home. And, for as much as he tries to do to benefit the game and push the game, which is his ultimate goal, if you're taking 2 or 3 steps back as a person, you're hurting your whole brand, and you're hurting all the people that are surrounding you. And then all of them, they have this cornered dog mentality right away. And we saw a lot of that especially in this past few weeks, or this past week, really, past few days of people around him searching for things to call people out on, and whatever. It's not my bag, baby. But like and hit that subscribe button.
Look, dude, I'm not gonna go out and buy a Trevor Bauer. I'm not really a jersey guy anyway, so I guess that's not a really good analogy. But I'm not gonna go buy a Trevor Bauer jersey. But I'm also not gonna turn off the TV on days that he pitches. I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff, but I don't agree with a lot of players on a lot of things, and that's okay. I'm not going to name people that I don't like on the team because that's very unprofessional. I would never do that. But if you want to slide into the DMs, we can have conversations about people. Just kidding. Please don't do that. I don't want to talk about any players. Yeah. But I mean, you see it repeating in the chat a lot. A lot of people saying the same things like, yeah, I don't really like the dude, but I mean, he's on our team. Mm-hmm. So let's do it. Let's roll forward. Let's go back to back. Let's do what we got to do. I mean, you talk about the sheer, just from a sheer talent standpoint, what is on the field right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I've ever seen a starting rotation that's loaded with like 6 possible opening day starters for like literally any team in the league. Like you look at any single team in the league and you're like, yep, a lot of these guys could be opening day starters for you guys. To the point where you're wondering, like, what happens now? Like, what direction do we go with the current starting rotation that we have? Because you can't have 7 guys in a starting rotation. I understand a 6-man rotation. That happens in baseball, especially after a 60-game season going into back to 150 plus 162, whatever it ends up being. But what a rotation, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of incredible arms. I mean, you're looking at, as of now, David Price is your number 4 guy. Julio Urias is who's the guy who closed the last 2 series en route to a World Series for the Dodgers. He's a guy who also has had incredible success at times as a starter, and he's expected to be in that rotation. But there's a lot of there's a lot of things to figure out that Doc and Andy Friedman are going to need to figure out before opening day. Luckily this year there isn't an Alex Wood type who says, oh yeah, no, I'm in the rotation, because I can't imagine Tony Gonsolin doing that, but it would be funny because that's just not Tony's style. Friend of the show. But yeah. Anyway, digging into a few more of the comments here before we dig in more on the rotation side and just like the pitching implication. If you go ahead and find a few comments, I'll find a few more. I see one person saying, who are these guys? Jan saying, who are these guys? We don't know, but it says our handles on the screen. So go ahead and, do a little bit of research. And I would say that is one thing I mean, if you pay attention to anything, people don't do any actual research themselves. They just see and react. That's what we get a lot of in this modern.
We are very guilty of that as well.
I'm not saying we were absolved of that or not included. That's the way it is. But that's just 2020 living, man. It's see and react. I don't need to know the whole story. I don't need to know anything else. That's LFG. Let's just do that. And
there you go.
But,
look at Paul Vaughn over on YouTube says, I am subscribing. This show is great. Paul, this is even our best show. This is us at our lowest with the most minimal stuff that we have available to us. So thank you for sticking around, Paul. We appreciate that, man. We hope that we pick up a lot of subscribers this offseason because there is going to be so much to talk about in 2021 for the Dodgers. Just the Dodgers. Just the Dodgers in general.
Yeah, we've talked about it internally because obviously we have to cover this stuff. We make money to cover the team. That's how we all survive. That's how our families survive. And there's a lot more content coming. I hope it's majority good. I don't want the 3 a.m. call that somebody said something in somebody's DMs and all of a sudden it's blowing up and we got to find a way to cover that or not cover it. And then we're going to get slammed for not covering it because we're coddling a player. Like you opened this, Brooke opened this. We're not here to coddle. We're not here to kiss this kid's ass. If he wants to have, some sort of relationship, if he wants to get, front facing with our fan base, sure, he's welcome. We'll have a conversation. We'll break bread. He also has his own access, and he has his access to his own flavor of fans and his own flavor of people. And those people are the type that are going to stick together and go cause their havoc or mayhem, whatever the hell they want to do. That's how it is. Everybody likes to do their own thing and stay with their own people, even if it's not a good thing. I don't know, but tangent. Right. Tangent.
I will say that the people in the chat today are particularly funny. Really enjoying the direction you guys are going with things today. But Mello over on YouTube says, get Brooke and Real FRG and watch Momentum. I don't think that we'll be invited onto the channel anytime soon. I think we have made less than a few fans, but that's okay.
Who has the higher spin rate between me and Brooke? Comment.
I can confirm that you do have a very high spin rate, so I'll let you win that battle.
On a perfect time, King Yellowman says, will Bauer's spin rate magically go down 400 RPM? Ooh, that's a sticky subject.
I hope not.
Let's see. He's probably cheating a lot in 2020. Anyway, also let us know if we got any Mets fans here that are sad and crying. We want to know. We'll I don't know. Will we help you? What are we gonna do to the Mets fans?
I mean, it's tough being a Mets fan, and I get it. And I feel for you guys. I don't know what else to tell you. You got a rich owner who wants to spend money, but nobody wants to take the money. So I don't know how to help you. I really hope that Kid Mark is in the chat. That would be great. Really enjoy him as a person.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was hoping he was going to cry on the live stream, but he didn't.
Yeah, I think he got all his tears out at first. That's why I didn't read Jock Peterson's going away letter because I didn't want to cry before the live stream.
Oh, I would not recommend reading that.
By the way, I think we have a Trevor Bauer burner account in here because it's John Cena DuPont. Says everyone should watch Trevor's vlogs on Momentum and his YouTube page. Okay, we will do that.
Look at that shameless plug, Trevor.
Thanks for stopping by and your burner, Trev. We appreciate you. Drop a super chat if you want us to take your comments. But I think people could come up with more of their own personal narratives on people if they do watch some of those vlogs, namely Rachel Luba. But I don't want to get too much into that. She's a nice kid.
Look, I mean, let's just give credit where credit's due. We can repost this clip just for Rachel because I had a lot of negative things to say about her. I was upset with the way that things were going. I was upset with the fact that The vlogs that we were promised that were supposed to let us in on free agency didn't seem to let us in on free agency, and now I kind of understand why. I mean, the Dodgers are the Dodgers. They're not going to let you in on anything. They're not going to tell you anything. They're not going to let anything slip. So if that's the case, and that's why we couldn't hear anything, more credit to her. She just got $100+ million contract. Please get my boy Yasi a contract. Sign him somewhere. Let him play professional baseball. The boy likes baseball. But man, she came through. And if you're talking about commissions on that $100 million contract, Rachel's having a payday, man.
For real. That's another question I had. So, as Trevor clickbaited us all earlier this offseason saying, I have made my decision type thing, or making my decision. And it was, I want to go to a team that has good meal plan and that has a nice ballpark.
I want to win.
Yeah. One of his things was, being open about his desire to pitch every fourth day, which is another thing we'll talk about in a bit. This is a lot of all teasing, teasing later on in the show to keep you guys involved. But what was the other thing? What were we talking about? Who are you again?
I don't know. We were talking about her getting money.
I don't know. I completely lost my train of thought. I probably was bored myself. But anyways, JT Swifty talking about Rachel vaguely calling us out in her vlog. By the way, she called us out for running with somebody's title, or running with a low-level source and clickbaiting the title, and then she clickbaits the title out of that vlog where she's literally just sitting playing with her hair and talking about all these calls she needs to be on.
I wish she would have at least said our names or something. Like, if you're going to talk crap, just tell us. Rachel, please give us credit. We just want to be recognized in life. Come on.
Okay, I remember.
Okay. Welcome back.
One of Trevor's other things was that he wants to keep his vlogging, all the social media type stuff involved. He wants to keep it alive.
Right.
That's not Dodger style. They don't let people do. They don't let people vlog. They barely let people tweet. We talked about this a few times. We've had a player with Ross Stripling had to take down a tweet that he was excited he wasn't traded from the Dodgers about a year ago today. He had to take that down, and it was just him reacting. Will they let what kind of level of access are they going to give Trevor Bauer in the clubhouse?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, historically speaking, the Dodgers have been pretty locked down on things. We've seen them. It hasn't been made public or anything like that, but you've definitely seen Dodgers players post something and then have them mysteriously take it down, within 30 seconds somehow. Yeah. So it's definitely been a case where the Dodgers are on top of things. They want to keep things in house. They want to make sure, it's an airtight organization, and it really is run very airtight. I think in the past we've been able to break news on one or two things, very low-level things that the Dodgers were like, how the heck did somebody else get this before we were able to get it out? And they were kind of upset about that. So just the fact that we're able to accomplish something like that to me is big. But it also should tell you how airtight, and they do not talk about anything. And if anything gets outside of the organization, there's always questions about how it got out, who's talking, things like that. So I don't know how this is going to play out with Bauer, because he is definitely the behind-the-scenes guy. And I'm assuming that conversation had to happen. And that conversation had to be in favor of Trevor, or else there's no way he's taking that contract. He's going to go play for the Mets, who are going to let him do whatever he wants. So it has to be happening. I can't see any way they're not going to let him do that.
That's what he wants, and I'm pretty sure the Mets would have let him do a lot more of it. So, of course, the Mets aren't as primed to win as the Dodgers are, and that's another one. That's the number one thing he wants to do is win. Digging into a few more of the comments here, I like Steve O. He says, "There's a reason I've never watched this podcast. D-Mac is better than these clowns, bunch of boomers." I agree. I'm not a boomer, but I agree on the D-Mac. D-Mac he's a fun watch. So go check him out.
D-Mac is 10 out of 10.
Go check him out on DodgersNation.com.
I've never been called a boomer before. That's a first.
You're 20,
I don't know how I feel about
that. You're 28 now, right? That's good enough. 7, 8?
Yeah. I mean, that's a boomer. 28's a boomer.
Well, welcome to the club, man. More things hurt.
Thank you.
I've seen a few comments about like what's next. Kevin particularly is like, who's the best option to replace Turner at third base? Justin Turner.
Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer, new starting Dodgers third baseman. Does this one of our writers at our sister site, LA Sports Report, Adam did an article about that. Like, does this take Trevor Bauer out of the mix? Because again, that's the payroll, the Dodgers payroll.
Justin Turner.
Dodger payroll is pretty up there now. So that's a lot of money that they have to pay in that luxury tax. Does JT not come back? Are they not able to re-sign JT is what I'm going for here. Based on what he wants and money and all that. It's one season.
If you're already talking about blowing past the CBT already, I mean, if you're looking at the exact figure I have on it is in your first year of blowing past it, which it reset last year. If you're at $240 million, which is about what they're at this year, they're going to pay a $7 million luxury tax fee. In 2015, they paid almost $44 million luxury tax fee for being at $298 million on their payroll. So if you're saying, hey, I don't think they're going to sign JT because they're just not going to want to go that far. They already went way far past the CBT. I don't know what's to stop them from doing it. I don't think anything is going to stop them from doing that. I don't think annually he's going to cost them very much anyway. I think you had mentioned it much earlier in the offseason where you were saying, hey, they're probably going to give him some extra option years, probably mutual option years to offset the annual average and lower it down a little bit while also putting more guaranteed money in the front. For him, but it takes away from the luxury tax a little bit. So if that's the case, I don't see any problem with them re-signing Justin Turner. I don't see anything stopping them from doing that. I could see them moving a bigger contract that they have on the books right now, and there's a couple big names that they could do that with.
Yeah, I mean, well, first and foremost, before the Bauer signing is official, I'm very handsy today. I'm moving my hands a lot. Before it's official, they need to make a roster move. Either way, it's currently at 40. There's a few dead weight bodies on there. There's some options to just straight release. There's some options to trade guys that really have no place on the team. There's that opportunity where if they want to wait out and put there's Tommy Kenley and Caleb Ferguson are both not going to start the season healthy. So those are 60-day IL guys. If they wait, spring training's less than 2 weeks away, so they can put them on the 60-day IL, announce it just before spring training. Similarly, they did that. It was a couple of days before camp last year with Mookie and David Price. So those are the options. But what do you think happens in actually, player movement and this? There's a lot of ways. Again, we could go with the position player, DFA Luke Raley, trade David Price, which we've seen a lot of people suggesting online today. What do you think?
I think there's a lot of value. Obviously, it doesn't help or it doesn't hurt you to have too many starting pitchers on your staff. That's not something that's going to hurt you too much. But I think there is a lot of value in moving David Price. And I know that's not something everybody wants to hear. Obviously, you want the lefty mix in there a little bit, so that is part of the factor. You obviously have Kershaw, and you would think Julio long-term in the starting rotation, but you just never know how they're going to move people around. But if you're going to move David Price, $15 million of his contract counts towards the luxury tax. So that's going to offset whatever it takes to sign JT if you're thinking in terms of that. But also if you're just talking strictly Trevor Bauer, gives him a roster spot for now. But who's going to take him? I don't know. The Angels really need starting pitching and probably would be willing to pay too much because they have a bad franchise that doesn't know how to do anything. I personally would love to keep David Price. I think that he's good for the team. I think he's good for the clubhouse, the atmosphere, everything about it. But you just never know how they're going to think. But simple solution: move somebody over to the IL.
Yeah, that frees up spot. We still got to figure out again the JT thing. We didn't, besides JT, we didn't necessarily get anywhere with that. And if they don't re-sign JT, somebody like Matt Beatty, who we've suggested really needs a change of scenery, just because he deserves an opportunity to play. Matt Beatty all of a sudden becomes important because he can play some third base, and they're going to need to change some options up there. I liked on the Angel front. I liked at Nettle Court on YouTube says Angels are so dumb. I mean, their owner is, and I just wanted to make sure I threw that in there because it's a great comment. It's well thought out and factual. So, thank you, Nettle Court, for sharing.
Appreciate that. It's definitely helpful to us. Do you think that they realistically try to move any of their starting pitching? I mean, that's a big question to me. Like, aside from the Justin Turner argument, aside from the finding a roster spot for Trevor Bauer, do you think they try to move any of these guys? Because they have young talent that they can move back to the bullpen and create just like I mean, let's be honest, a ridiculous bullpen. But the bullpen is also pretty good as is.
Well, there's different schools of thought. You're going to trade value. If you're going to trade the guys, somebody like Tony Gonsolin or a Dustin May, and go get a Jose Ramirez, you trade from your source of strength, from an area of strength,
right,
where you have a lot of starting pitching help, and there's more kids down in the pipeline when you're looking at Josiah Gray, when you're looking at Edwin Uceta, you're looking at even like Mitch White or something. There's people that can fill some of those starts if they need to, if there's enough injuries, if somehow they make it through D-May and all that. So you do have those options to turn to move in a trade and go get somebody like that, or even if they go the Chris Bryant route, which has been kind of off and on floated out there. You're freeing space. You're probably saving some money there if that is the plan. But again, now like we've mentioned, what's the point of saving money? They don't need to have the Cubs kick in a bunch of money on a Chris Bryant deal to when we're already so far over the luxury tax. So it's just brain soup of different thought processes there. Trading is
I say trade a bunch of the young guys for Matt Chapman. Just go all in. Just screw it. Go for the season. Get our third baseman.
That would be by far the best move. I don't know. I mean, it might block Cody Hosey a little bit, but we
got room for him. There's a lot of infield.
You got talent. Definitely got talent. I'm loving the Doug love today. Appreciate the Doug love coming in from people. It's at DMAC under.
It makes me happy.
Yes, Gold. We know Doug. He works with us.
We know Doug. We have his autograph.
We're all DodgersNation.com. That's why you're on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Doug did just post a video, his reaction, and he posted all the numbers and things that are going on as of earlier this afternoon on the Justin Turner's need for potential teammate Trevor Bauer. Saved it. He posted all that on our YouTube channel, so check that out. Now, if you want, we'll wait. Or after this, again, give us your thoughts, give us your reactions. How do you feel about Trevor Bauer coming to LA? Do you call him Trev? Does he have the new nickname? Because we've talked about it internally, and I'm going with Daddy Trev. I have the graphic up now on the screen. What do you think about Daddy Trev? Is that a good nickname for Trevor Bauer?
That's fine. That's fine for you guys. I'm not going to call him that. I am going to call him Trevor.
I might be a Trev guy because it's easier.
I'm calling him by his government name. He's being Trevor.
Fair, you coward.
Trevorthan.
You're a damn coward, man. Another thing I guess I should mention while we're breaking for a second, we do have a giveaway going on right now over on our Instagram. Clayton Kershaw autographed photograph that is there. So check it out. It's on Official Dodgers Nation, at Official Dodgers Nation on Instagram. Thanks to our friends at Elite Sports Collectibles. Also, keep an eye. I don't have anything ready to put that in here, but we do have the Word of the Day giveaway running all month long, where we are giving away up to or more than $1,000 cash and prizes all through the month of February. So check it out. They're mostly in Doug's videos. Find that secret word, and you have to make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel to enter to win. You'll email us using the email on that channel or on our About page on YouTube. If you don't do it right, I'm sorry, you can't win. Don't comment the Word of the Day in the videos because that's just messed up. Anyways, all right. So rotation as of right now, one would assume it's Kershaw, Buehler, Bauer, Price, maybe Urias, because I know people will give me shit if I don't say it the right way. That's one scenario. What do you think? What do you think about that? Or would you go D-May? Do you try to force Julio into a dominating relief role? Do you find a way to dump Kenley as the money dump, which I don't think Kenley Jansen is tradable. I don't think he has any value to any other teams right now, even though he had a decent year, statistically. But I just don't. That's my take. I would not trade for him on my team.
Before I jump into that, Logan over on YouTube gave us a super chat for $5. Thank you, Logan. We appreciate it. He says, please have Doug on the podcast. Stop hiding him under the basement. Logan, Doug Doug's the face of the franchise, man. He's the superstar. He's the Mookie Betts of the team. I'm like the Edwin Rios, Matt Beatty type. Like, I'm just here. Like, I'm ready when you need me, but I'm just here. But we'll have Doug on the show pretty soon. We wanna talk to Doug about his reaction about this, because we only get to do it over chat, so we don't get to hear his voice in our ears, which is always a good time. But you start talking about the rotation. Number one, in regard to Kenley Jansen, he does have 10-5 rights, which means that he has to obviously be involved in any trade. But I think I had seen it mentioned somewhere today, somewhere surrounding our good friend SD Dodger Tim, that if it was made clear to him that he's not the closer, that he might take that and run with it, and maybe accept some sort of trade anywhere. I don't know who's going to take him. I don't know who would take him on. But, I mean, he's got $16 million counting towards the luxury tax this year. So that's a little hefty toll. And for a reliever in decline, that's a really hefty toll. You start talking about bullpen mix. I saw somebody bring it up where they said, it's not typical, and it's not something that an argument that I've heard. I usually hear it the other way, where if you're talking about Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin, the general consensus is put Dustin May in the starting rotation, put Tony Gonsolin in the bullpen, which is normally the side that I'm on. And I'm normally, I think that Gonsolin's splitter kind of plays up in the bullpen and in relief and high leverage situations, and I still believe that. But also, D-May hasn't really developed a second pitch, and he's still working on that, and he's still going to be struggling through that. So I think if he's a starting pitcher, that's a little bit more difficult to do. You can go out there and throw all fastballs for 1 or 2 innings. You can't go out there and throw all fastballs for 5 to 7 innings. That's not going to work for you.
And it's shown. So I think it's shown in his big league time.
It's definitely shown. And Tony, on the other hand, has gone deep into ball games. He's shown that when used in the right spots and when used properly and consistently throughout the course of the year, that he can be very special. Because if you look back at the times that he kind of crapped the bed, it was when things were dropped on him last minute. Somebody had to, he had to fill in. He had to move in the bullpen. He had to this and that. If you make him an everyday starter, I think he's going to be one of the most underrated parts of your rotation, and he's going to be like a 5th starter. Like, he's going to be the very back of the rotation. You still have to consider that besides him, you still have Julio. And in my mind, Julio is a reliever. In my mind, he's a high leverage reliever. I don't know that they view him like that. I don't know that a lot of people view him like that, but they've said it for years. Like, Julio's a starter. We're building him up as a starter. We're priming him as a starter. We're thinking about him as a starter for long term. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I really don't.
Well, I don't think they even agree with it, because he always gets moved into the bullpen because he finds a way to make a difference in every ball game that he appears out of the bullpen. He dominates in that game.
Right.
So you look at him as in some sort of Josh Hader role. He could be your closer. He could be that 7th, 8th, 9th guy that like all 7th, 8th, 9th. Then he'd give him 3 innings, give him a couple days off, kind of mix it there. He's what now 3 seasons removed from surgery, so he's gonna be in better shape. He's ready. His body's ready to have an adult male baseball man workload, and whatever the role is. The best role to win is definitely as a reliever. Best role to get paid, though, is as a starter. So I don't think I think he would be disgruntled if they threw him in the bullpen. And they have.
I don't think you would love it.
they have more kind of say with what they. I mean, they have all the say. Dodgers have all the say in what they're going to do with Julio Urias too, but the team has more say in what they're going to do with Tony, what they're going to do with D-May. But yeah, man, Julio in that Hader role would be elite. That would be. I would think that would just about all could, but guarantee you can go print your back-to-back shirts now. Just get it out of the way, because you could brook that one. MM Forever on YouTube also kicked down $4.99, the $5 on the super chat. So we appreciate you for throwing a few bucks our way. That helps with the beer fund. This is biggest free agent signing in Dodgers history. That is true. This one very much eclipses that of what he notes is outside of a trade and signing somebody who was drafted and currently on the team. So obviously Mookie got a bunch of money, but he was traded for. They gave the guy we're just talking about. They gave Kenley a bunch of money, but that was a re-sign. I guess the next closest might be Kevin Brown, $105 million in 2000. So. In terms of big deals, I mean,
talking about Kevin Brown, but impactful deals, like it's so funny. Like impactfully, Justin Turner is one of the biggest free agent signings of all time. Like it's so weird to say, but in terms of money, yeah, absolutely. Justin Turner was a minor league deal. He wasn't supposed to be that guy. Jason over on YouTube says, Brooke, you look so bummed out. It's not the end of the world, fam. I'm not bummed out. This is actually my face. I always look like this. I'm always look like I'm not enjoying my life, but I promise you I'm always having a good time no matter where I am. There were a lot of people that chimed in about me saying Julio belongs in the bullpen. A lot of people did not agree with me, and that's okay. I would love to hear your guys' arguments for that, but Ashlyn says, I see Julio and May as relievers, and Gonsolin can definitely thrive as a starter. I think you guys know that we are big fans of Tony Gonsolin over here, so we're a little bit biased in that we want to see him do well. We want to see him thrive. We want to see him live his best life, and I think his best life is lived as a starter for the Los Angeles Dodgers in that number 5 spot behind a lot of really good arms. So I'm going to stick to that because I really like that. I really love him. Also, if they had to trade Tony, like the value that they could get out of Tony Gonsolin right now is ridiculous. Yeah. Just as a thought, there's a lot of options they could go with. There's a lot of different directions they could go with. But if they were to trade any of their current starting rotation, they could get so much in return. And it's such a good time to be a Dodger fan.
He's by far the most major league ready of the younger folks. A few people talking about the contracts. Zach Greinke obviously got some money. I forgot. I think his is 147. So that might be by value the most. It's been a while, but he didn't stay. He only stayed for the 3 seasons.
He opted out of it.
I don't know what the money ends up being in that regard. I saw another mention. AJ Pollock also got paid, but not anywhere near as much, and he hasn't been as impactful as Trevor Bauer may be. I want to decide or kind of change. I would say change the topic, but get more into the Bauer side of things again. But a month, 2 months ago, Dave Roberts had said that, I think it was part of like the sort of 2020 exit interviews, he's open. He would welcome a clubhouse change. And man, have we got a clubhouse change. Kike gone, Jock gone, JT currently a free agent, and you bring in somebody like Trevor Bauer.
Not to mention the loss of a legend in Ken Gernick leaving the Dodger beat. So, and Alana Rizzo. There's so many names gone from this past. We won a World Series, and everybody's like, "We gotta go. We're good."
And then Tommy coming out of that locker room every home game. But on the idea, the clubhouse change, how drastic does this change the clubhouse, or do you think there's still enough of the glue, enough of the everyday people? Because you're losing a couple of raw guys in Jock and Kike, and I don't think Trevor's that kind of raw guy. Now we're gonna learn about what he's about. What do you think? How's it gonna affect the clubhouse?
I mean, if you look at his past and you talk about teammates, you talk about players that have played alongside of him, you see a lot of dudes, with the exception of Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole obviously hates him, which kind of makes me enjoy it a little bit more. But you see a lot of people that say, like, hey, he's a great teammate, love being around him. I got to learn a lot from him. I learned a lot of new stuff. Obviously, one of the biggest spin rate type of analytic type of guys that you can encounter in terms of like driveline type of activity. He's the guy who kind of innovated that across baseball and brought it into the league. And so people obviously have a lot to learn from him. I don't know what it's going to do to the clubhouse. I don't think that in terms of what he brings into it, it's going to change it too drastically one way or the other. I don't think it's enough to just have one guy come in and be like, all right, well, now the clubhouse is X or Y or whatever it might be. I'm not too worried about that personally. I think there's a lot of really strong personalities inside the clubhouse as it is that aren't going to be swayed one way or another by one player coming in. I think Kershaw is always going to be Clayton Kershaw. I think Walker Buehler is always going to be Walker Buehler.
Don't forget Mookie Betts.
I think knowing that Mookie Betts is always going to be Mookie Betts. I think if anything, knowing who's in the clubhouse is actually more encouraging for me to know that they are going to change Trevor as a person rather than vice versa. And so that's my hope. I think he learns a lot from these guys. I think he learns a lot about baseball, about life from these guys. And I think ultimately he leaves Los Angeles, hopefully, a better person than when he arrived, which is the case for everybody that comes to Los Angeles, in my opinion. Not Los Angeles, the city, because that's not the case, but for the Dodgers.
To the Dodgers, for sure. A different topic as we find a few more of the comments. Actually, we got one right there. Go ahead and read read the good comments. The good comments.
Oh, the good comments. Well, we got a super chat from MM Forever.
Yeah.
Thank you again. You guys are awesome with that. We always appreciate that. Beer money galore. He says, if Turner leaves, we're screwed. How can we replace that leadership on the field and his production? Turner has 3 years left of solid production. I would agree with you that Turner has 3 good years left with the bat. I'm not going to argue with you on that at all. I think you're absolutely correct. I think the issue is in the field. And if you don't have that universal DH, you don't have the guarantee of that. That's a big gamble to take in terms of flexibility, because you can't pull him off the field. You can't really keep his bat in the lineup on certain days when you need to take him off his feet. I do agree it's a huge leadership loss, though. Alternatively, as we said, this is Mookie's clubhouse now. And that became very clear last year that this is Mookie's clubhouse.
Yeah, that's another one of the parts, though, where I do feel you need JT. I don't know if – I would say Mookie's ready, but I don't know if he's fully ready to absorb like a complete clubhouse dynamic change like that. And again, we don't know what the hell – Trevor Bauer is going to bring to the clubhouse. It's going to take some time to figure out what he brings to the clubhouse. I mean, we heard, early in spring training last year, there was one of the signings. He ended up being hurt all year, but there was one of the signings, one of the players in the clubhouse that just plainly was not fitting in, and that happens. In the same way, we don't have to like everybody. Everybody in the clubhouse doesn't have to like each other. It is what it is. As long as you're working towards that common goal. But I would imagine it would help to still have somebody like JT around to have that Mookie dynamic and making sure everybody stays on track. I'm not going to call out any names, Trevor Bauer.
I would agree. I would also agree. I mean, I'll just throw this out there for you guys because it seems like a lot of people are worried about it. Andrew Friedman is not done making big moves this offseason. I think that was the first one, and that's going to get things moving, and that's going to get the ball rolling. But I think you're going to see a couple more big moves here in the next 2 weeks, and that should be exciting. You should be very excited about that.
Oh yeah, that's going to be fun. I saw somebody else pointing out, our boy John Cena. This is the Trevor Bauer burner account.
That's the burner account.
Says imagine the Cody Bellinger vlog. Ooh, I imagine that being boring.
He's just like today.
Yeah, he's just like. He just plopped on his.
Wait.
Yeah, he's just gonna be on his couch until it's like, oh man, baseball time.
Oh, baseball hour.
It's baseball time. Find a few more comments and probably bail out of here. We don't need to stay here the whole night. It is a Friday. It's Thirsty Friday, as they call it. Another one, MM Forever. Another $2, man. MM Forever. We appreciate the hell out of you on YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Chipping in.
Can Turner stay if Muncy shares first base with him? That was one of the things I had mentioned a few months ago. Justin Turner doesn't need to be the starting third baseman for the entirety of the next contract he gets with the Dodgers. He can move to first. He's
right.
A decent first baseman, and when he first came to LA, he played a decent amount of first in that era. He's no Jock Peterson, is what I'm saying. Thank you.
Yeah, me neither.
Hell yeah. You meaning you can catch too. Gotcha.
I can catch the ball, yeah. We'll be okay.
Train says, I love Bauer so much. Hey, you're amongst the majority of that group of people. I don't know where I'm at on it yet. I know the things I think that are good with him. I know the things I don't like. I know the things that are bad for that hurt people and hurt people's feelings and aren't generally good for the greater good of humanity. But I also know that like deep down at his core, what he's trying to do is what he hopes to do is something he wants to propel baseball. He wants to bring it into the next level that it keeps getting just stuffed down. They don't want the players to have personality. You don't know a player's name. You might know somebody in the NFL or whatever. So that would be a good thing, but it's about not pushing yourself back, not taking 3 steps forward and 2 steps back sort of thing.
I do know that I'm looking forward to watching baseball games this year, but
well, that's always that way.
I'm always looking forward to watching baseball games this year. That's it.
Jason Giannaros? I don't know how to say your last name. I apologize, but on YouTube says, you, sir, are no Jock Peterson.
That's true. I can't hit baseballs and I can catch balls at first. So, We're a little different, him and I. I definitely cannot hit baseballs. I'm garbage.
Manny Man 5 Dodge says, "Hurt people's feelings? Are you kidding? 7 scoreless should help with that." I think with time, he, that's what you really hope. If you just lay low, do your job for a little bit, you're going to probably win some fans that are on the fence about you or plainly don't like you, and that's what you hope to see. You don't just come in and go all Kevin Malone. There's a new sheriff in town. Sorry, nobody's gonna know that one unless you've been a Dodger fan for a while. But yeah, new sheriff in town. Google it, kids.
Got you. DJ Xvelia dropping in with a super chat again. Thank you again. He said the boys lucked up today. Back-to-back vibes. It definitely. I mean. Yes. You saw it. Obviously, I will say this. Media is very quick to react to things like this. We saw it with the Padres where they were like, all right, the Dodgers are no longer the favorites. They got Blake Snell, which is like, to me, I'm like, wait, what? You got Blake Snell. They didn't get like Cy Young. Relax. We definitely saw a lot of that today where it was like, wow, all right, back-to-back World Series for the Dodgers. Congratulations. And these are like non-Dodgers beat reporters. Yeah. We saw a lot of Mets beat reporters saying that, and I think that's how you deal with the grief a little bit. And, I feel for you, but it definitely has back-to-back vibes to it. When's the last time we had a back-to-back World Series winner? The Yankees?
Yeah, Yankees 99-2000.
When they went try?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. In 2001. No, not 2000. It was 99-2000 because they lost in 98? No, they won in 98. I don't know.
I think they won 98 and 2000.
Right. They lost in 97 to the what was that? Marlins. To the Cleveland team. Marlins. See what I did there? It's Miami. Well, Florida at the time.
Yep.
Beef Boss has a request. We want to say hi to do we want to say hi to Beef Boss from Wii Sports? Ooh, no.
Beef Boss from Wii Sports?
It was tough.
Hi, Beef Boss from Wii Sports.
Beef Boss Weef. That's his new name. Change it.
Beef Boss Weef Sports.
Hey, Doug's in the stream. What's going on, Doug McCain? Check him out. Check out the video. Doug, again, also reacted, gave some thoughts, gave us all the news on the Trevor Bauer signing that is available now. Don't forget, it will not be official for a couple of days, possibly not even into spring training, kids, because they got some roster moves to do, and Andy Friedman is a shrewd boy. He knows what he's doing. Trust Andrew Friedman, man.
He's shrewd. I trust that man with my life, so we'll see what happens.
One of the last things I wanted to talk about is jasonsays.com. See, it is a brand. It is a brand.
It is definitely the brand. Oh, King Yellowman jumping in with it too. It's definitely the brand.
I love it. We're not talking crap, Doug. It's because we love you. You're like.
It's a part of
you're
you,
like a brother to me. I wanted to bring up one last point because surprisingly, Padres Twitter, at least from what I've seen, has been quiet. A little too quiet. We've seen a couple of people cry. I think it's funny, but how deflating must that be to a fan base that's just barely learned that baseball exists? In June of this year?
I don't even know what month we're in, honestly.
Or last year. Yeah, that's got to be.
It was like June of this year.
Yeah, well, June of last year. How deflating is that going to be, man? You guys just became relevant and tried to cement yourself as the NL West winner in 2021. It ain't going to happen. Brook it.
Yeah, I mean, it is really funny to watch just the off-season rise of the Padres. And despite that, knowing as Dodger fans that we're still ahead of them. And then just to watch Andrew Friedman just absolutely crush spirits, like immediately. I mean, if you're a San Diego fan, I'm sorry. I feel for you. I don't feel bad for you, but I definitely feel from you. But you also had those two kids make that stupid Slam Diego video. So I think that might be your new curse. There's the curse of the GOAT, curse of Babe Ruth, and the curse of those kids.
I like that thought process. Big Steve, YouTube says the Slam Diego kids probably just scrapped the script for their next music video. Oh, man.
There you go. Also, Marcell Ozuna is close to a four-year deal with the Braves. So, scratch that one off your list.
We were right there in it. That's what I wanted, a Gold Glove outfielder that can't play defense. Hell yeah. One of the things I'm going to really enjoy, at least, I hope, as long as it's done in a friendly and not like hurtful manner, I would love to see Trevor Bauer troll Padres Twitter. I think that'll be fun. But we got a lot of things, man. We got a lot of things to look forward to and a lot of things to, I guess, also worry about in the months ahead. At the root of it all for us all will be Dodger baseball. Hopefully that unites us all. That makes us happy. Hopefully we have a good team, because it looks like we should have the best damn team in baseball, especially if we get JT back.
We better, man. I'm tired of this offseason. This offseason really wore me out. It wore me down. And you would think after a World Series I would be happy inside, but this was a very tiring offseason.
I think Mrs. Me 3 is locked out. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it here, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate y'all. Find us on the internet at DodgersNation.com. Sorry. Subscribe to Blue Heaven. We are on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Player FM, all the spots that podcasts are available to listen to and eat for free. We live there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Doug also lives there. That's where he lives. He lives there. He doesn't live in Santa Monica. Doug lives in the internet. Thank you.
Yeah, and not in our basement. Guys, I am at BrookMay3. This other guy is at RealFRG. We're on Twitter and Instagram. We're at Dodger Nation on Twitter, at Official Dodger Nation on Instagram. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you for checking in on a Friday night. We appreciate you guys dealing with these circumstances. We appreciate you. We love you. Be kind to one another. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.